This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to be taking a look at Cooper G. Lowlight McBride from G.I. Joe Classified. Lowlight's real name is, Cooper G. McBride. I already said that. We have a serial number of 82748CG37. Grade E6 Staff Sergeant. Mission equipment: encoder rifle with ENV enhanced night scope and silencer. Lowlight is the G.I. Joe team's night operations expert, specializing in image intensification techniques and reduced light combat tactics. As a child, he was afraid of the dark until he got lost in the woods and was found there weeks later with a flashlight and compass, skillfully finding his way home. In the dark Cobra warehouse, he positions himself to take Destro and the shock troopers by surprise. What's kind of interesting here is it says he got lost in the woods until he was found 3 weeks later, but he was skillfully finding his way home. So did he find his way home or was he found? And that's kind of two different things. This is actually from a file card that's from one of the later series and not the vintage line. And just to make note, I will be putting I have probably by now put up the image of the file card that I have. When I have the actual file cards that I read off of, I will go ahead and I will post the image in there. But if I have to get the file card online, I'm not going to post somebody else's work over mine. You know what I mean? So take a look at the back box where it shows all of his equipment. Backpack, rifle case. Looks like he's got a couple different rifles. The one thing almost kind of looking like Lady J's spear thrower, to be honest. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here. Here we got Lowlight in all of his glory, trapped in the box. Luckily, he should be relatively easy to get out. What is going on with his hand? Again, they have the black and white version of his artwork on the back of his container, and it looks pretty cool. I like it, although I think in this case I do kind of prefer the color one instead. But, I think the Cobra ones tend to look better in black and white because it makes them look more menacing than they do in color. Let's go ahead and take a look at him articulation-wise. We've got the double neck joint that allows him to kind of do this chicken thing. Ball joint at the head to spin around. Butterfly joint. Actually, this is probably the loosest butterfly joint I've seen. Or maybe I should say the most articulated. Because there's no overage getting in the way. Usually the harness that they put on the figures gets in the way. We've got a hinge joint to go up. We can spin around. We have the bicep swivel, which I like. We have a double joint at the elbow, which is very tight on this figure. Ta-da! Now that I think about it, I guess with some of the Masters of the Universe figures, since they have the swivel at the elbow, they don't need the swivel at the bicep. The hand spins around, and he has the up and down articulation, but that's very, very hindered by his sleeve. We've got a torso crunch. Goes back yay far into a painful looking position. Goes forward the yay far in a less painful looking position. And we have the ball joint at the hips. Although, wow. That feels so tight that I'm afraid if I try to spin it any further than that, and actually even at the amount I spun it, I think it feels like I may have weakened it a bit. We got the drop down hips for added posability. Not that I ever seem to be able to pose my figures properly in anything decent. I'm gonna have to study other people's images, I think. We've got a thigh cut, double jointed knees, which again are very stiff. It's starting to feel like I should just like have a big cup of hot water to just bathe the G.I. Joe figures in. We've got a boot cut down here at the bottom. We've got the articulated foot joint, that hinge, and a spin. Face sculpt looks pretty good. He definitely has, I'd say they're giving him darker circles around his eyes, like he suffers from insomnia a lot. And I keep thinking that there was some episode of G.I. Joe that they had him in where they did discuss something like that, but I could be wrong. His hat is permanently affixed to his head. We'll go ahead and we'll set him aside for the moment. Take a look at his equipment. And he did seem like he came with a lot of equipment. All right, let's start with backpack. Just a basic backpack that does very little other than peg into his back. Yeah, that straight up look there if you want. We've got the gun that I thought kind of looked like Lady J's spear thrower, but it actually isn't. But it still looks an awful lot like it. And we have the clip for it. I'm always kind of torn about the clips that come with these things. One, I mean, it is cool to have the extra accessory where you can like actually like show them reloading if you're doing posing, but at the same time, it feels just like another item you can lose. We've got a nice little knife here with an in-groove there, making this different than any of the knives I've seen previously in this line, which we will shove into here. I think this is an... Oh, okay. So this is apparently a cell phone or a radio of some sort. I thought it was going to be another clip. And that fits into his side pocket there. We've also got his little wheels, which can be put on his head there. Oops. Oh my goodness. Look at me, I'm a professional. We can put them there, or we can slide them all the way down over his eyes, which is how I believe the vintage figure had actually been sold as, with the goggles already down. Now, for the moment I know you've all been waiting for, let's take a look at his sniper gear. All right, so inside, everything is in a specific position. The actual gear itself is just a slightly different color than the equipment inside, so it stands out a little bit more. Oh. I am concerned though about taking the stuff out and putting it back in constantly as possibly damaging. But we got the rifle. We've got the stand, which would click into here. Theoretically, would click into there so that it can be set like that. We also have the scope, and we have a suppressor. Fun bit of information for you who don't know. A suppressor is also a silencer, and it's actually called a suppressor because it dampens the noise. It does not fully silence it like you see in the movies. And there we go. We have his sniper rifle all put together. Nice. Right? Wow. I'm not sure if I have the scope on there right. Yeah, okay, the scope is supposed to be this way. Okay. I had it the wrong way originally. The only issue with... I don't know if... Can you actually... The one issue I think I have, though, when it comes to this kind of... And same with some of the Transformers that did this. Although one of the more ridiculous things they actually made... In one of the comics, they made Blur into a sniper. So he's like the fastest guy around, and then he's got the job where you're less likely to move and do anything. Man, I guess you can kind of have him laying down like it looks like he's lining up his shot. But it's not like you can really... I don't know if they can... Can they actually like make some better articulation that would allow you to have them do this? I don't know if it's possible with the figures right now. But I guess, I mean, it's not too bad. Not this way. Move his feet like this. There we go. Arm over a little bit more. The low light can line up his shot. Although, to be perfectly honest, that would take up way too much room on a shelf, so he probably will not be displayed in this manner. But we can take low light here. We will put his equipment back in his case because there's another feature to go with this. Actually, I wonder. Just out of curiosity. Okay, the clip does come out of the bottom of the sniper rifle too. But bro's only got one clip, so you better make it count. I do like this whole giving us the nice little backpack. Or, well, yeah, it is a backpack. I do like having the nice case. So, as you may note, there is in fact a hole there that you can plug the backpack into, and then plug the sniper rifle in his bag too. Because I think the whole thing with the classified was supposed to be they're supposed to be able to carry all of their equipment at one time if you want them to. And I think this looks absolutely ridiculous. It would make more sense to me if there was a hole in here that this could fit into. Like this. You know? But having the rifle, like, having the backpack hooked into there just looks kind of silly. We also do have the little thing here that we can clip his regular gun on. And of course, there's the handle on the case. Oh, forget it. I'm just going to put it over here. So this way, low light can curious case with him. So if you're going to display him with just his equipment altogether, I think this is probably the best way to do it. I think I do like the low light figure. I think he looks really good. And they did an excellent job. Nice to see them having created a new torso here instead of just putting another freaking harness over it, getting in the way of some of the articulation. Don't get me wrong, I think it's great that they have that extra equipment, except for it's not really designed to come off. The only way you can get a lot of it off with some of these figures, apparently, is to do the boil and pop method, which is, as you probably know, heat up some water, dunk them in there for a few minutes until everything softens, and then pull the arms off and then the head and pull the other gear on there and throw everything back in place. So, this is our look at the G.I. Joe Classified Low Light. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Peace and love.